We use GeForce Experience here to record. We are now recording. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and all other genders listed on Facebook. We welcome you to tonight's. All right, we're gonna cut the. We're gonna cut that intro. And we're gonna restart here.
I really did just figure out what you said there.
All right. Hello, everyone, and yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome this evening to Nicholas and Ben's Pooping Podcast. This is our inaugural episode of the Pooping Podcast with Nicholas and Ben, and we're really excited to bring you content all about poop and the
really just
act of pooping, and that's
game version of that.
all right. Well, that's Nick. Just kind of really helping us dive right into the material here. So, Nick, you clearly have things you want to say. Tell us about yourself. What brings you to the Pooping Podcast?
We have to redo that intro. That was atrocious.
Why was it so bad?
You were like, hey there guys, this is Ben.
Do you want to do the intro?
The inaugural episode of Pooping Podcast, and
That's horrible. Alright.
hey guys, welcome into Pooping Podcast, the inaugural episode here with Ben Carmen and myself, Nicholas Langer. This week we are going to be talking about, actually, I guess just in general, since it's the first episode, sorry, before we dive into those topics, pooping. This is an idea that came to mind when we were high and we just kind of talked about it. Ben just poops like 2-3 times a day.
Oh, wow, Nick. Our viewers are just now tuning in. Are they ready for this level of information? Are we just laying it on them now?
I mean, why don't you tell them how much you poop?
Alright, yeah, no. Nick and I got to talk and we just realized how interesting it is that everyone has such different pooping habits, that poop is just so taboo. And it's something we don't talk about. So we don't realize that what we do, so regularly, one of the most regular things in our lives, can vary so much greatly from person to person, and that's okay. But also, it's something we all share, but we don't talk about it. So, yeah, Nick and I just opened up the conversation, and, Nick poops like maybe once every 3 days, or sometimes longer. Like, he can go an entire Boy Scout camp and not poop. I poop sometimes 6 times a day, 8 times a day, sometimes it's just like every hour I take a break and I just kind of sit on the toilet, because why not, And that's okay.
It's, yeah, it really depends on what I eat. I mean, some shit goes right through me. Other stuff, it'll stay in there 2-3 days. But the thing is, I don't know. I feel like since we don't talk about it, I'm like, okay, this is probably the norm for other people. But there's people who have been like, no, you have to poop every single day.
Mm-hmm, once a day.
And I was like, but I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, does it hurt when it stores up? I mean, do you have problems? Like, do you have stomach aches?
No, that's the thing. If I was in discomfort, obviously I wouldn't be like, I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna go shit. I'm gonna go try and push this shit out. But I'm not.
If you're having comfortable bowel movements, I think you're healthy. And I think that's something we don't realize.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know. There's and I don't know.
It's true. Crazy. For as much as we don't talk or discuss poop or think about poop, there's so many stigmas around poop. And how do these exist when we don't even have a chance to apply them to people? Why do we just feel that people will judge us for our pooping habits?
Many stigmas about poop.
There's so many. It's embarrassing to say, oh, I have to go poop right now. But sometimes we've all been in that meeting or in that class and just had the fucking urge, and what are you gonna do?
Everybody poops. Everybody poops.
But you don't want to admit that. I always feel awkward when I'm gone to the bathroom for longer than a few seconds, because then everyone knows, oh, you pooped, because I'm a slow pooper, you know whether I pooped or not, and it's just embarrassing for people to know. Why is that? They should be embarrassed that
we as a society have deemed it inappropriate to talk about poop.
Exactly, and now we have tons of kids and adults in their life.
For some reason, we can talk about peeing differently. We're like,
it's true.
Yeah, I gotta go
piss.
I gotta go take a piss. And people are like, oh, I'm gonna go take a wee. I gotta relieve my bladder.
Exactly. I need to urinate.
People don't even bat an eyelash. So
No.
like,
I gotta pee too.
blues right down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. But if you're like, I gotta go take a shit, they're like,
They're like, don't use my bathroom for that.
that's not what it's for. It's for my poop and my guest pee only.
So on average, Ben, how many times? I guess give me a number. So out of like every 10 times you take a poop, how many times do you clog the toilet?
Well, it's funny you should ask. I'd say it's got to be at least 1 out of 10. Like,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, like it happens a lot.
I would say my average is 1.5 to 2 per 10.
Wow, that's you have some. Well, yours store up for longer, so it makes sense. You have some monster shits.
Sometimes they're large.
The problem is sometimes I just have 2 hour long like pooping sessions, so I'm just like on the toilet and it's just like shit kind of
There's just so
comes
much
out
in
from-
there that it just
Exactly. It just likes to come out in small amounts like a rabbit's poop. So I just sit there and read and just kind of
Yeah,
continue.
well, on that topic, what are the size? What's the shape?
It really varies. Sometimes I have like one kind of big log and then a few other little extras. Sometimes it's messy or it just depends. Like if I just had some Thai food, it's you can't expect a as pleasant of a bathroom experience, but that's the price you pay to enjoy delicious spicy Thai food, and I'm willing to pay that price. I think there isn't a problem for me, with pooping because it's worth it to have that good taste. Um, but yeah, no, it really varies. How about you? I mean, would you say you see that same variance, or do you have some more consistent poops?
Um, and I think like you, it depends on what I eat. Obviously, like if you eat chalk, your shit's not gonna look the same as if you eat, fucking chili.
You experience this firsthand?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just get really bad acid reflux and you just take a shit ton of chalk. What do you think Tums are? They're just chalk with some mint flavor.
Is that what it is?
Genuinely, yes.
Why does that work then?
It's chalk. It's like it neutralizes stomach acid. Have you not thought about this?
I've never really taken Tums, so, but yeah.
Oh, well, it must be nice not to get acid reflux.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Like, that's a big part of your digestive. Like,
Not food.
it's not related.
Well, I mean, I guess it's your digestive tract, but if we're talking the whole digestive tract, then we're gonna eventually start talking about food.
That's true. Let's rein in the scope of this podcast. You're right. Thank you, Master Nick.
Like, that's our niche. Like other people talk about food. Yeah, talk about food.
Yeah, I agree. Oh God. Yeah. So that's one really interesting thing that you and I differ so much on the frequency of our poop. But I mean, for me, it varies even day to day. Sometimes it's a few, sometimes it's one. It just depends.
So you actually find points throughout the day where you're just like, I am just so bored of working on this singular thing that I'm just gonna go sit on the toilet, see what comes out.
That's not inaccurate. No, yeah, it's like I can tell that there's something in there. It doesn't feel like I've built it up enough that I'm like really ready, but like it's also like a little bit is ready. So it's.
Have you ever? Sorry, excuse me your thought. I'll ask your question after.
Oh no, go ahead. I was at a good stopping point.
Okay, all right. Have you ever found those points where like you have a piece that's like coming out, but you can tell it's like not, it's like attached to stuff that's like still like coming through, and so it doesn't come out no matter what you do.
And it's so unsatisfying that it
Right,
never
because
does.
you've got like a little bit of a tip out.
Man, that is such an experience. I know.
This isn't. I mean, that
It feels
it's
so
awful.
wrong to just have to wipe it off and just pinch it off
Awful.
because there's
Oh my God,
there's
that
more
brings
there.
my next topic. Now I'm on a tangent, right? Now I'm on a tangent. So you have that happen, and sometimes like it's big enough to where like it gets, it's big enough to where it'll fall out. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, no, sometimes
right?
it's not.
You either get it with the first wipe or you just have to knock it off. Because if you leave it, it's just gonna spread around.
It is, yeah.
So you gotta knock it off.
You
or
gotta
something.
get it off somehow. Yeah, you
Right.
definitely want to wipe that ass again.
And so that can be so frustrating because you just might never get, not never, but it'll take you forever to get a clean wipe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another topic that fucking Sean is like, yeah, man,
He does.
it doesn't have to be clean. I just wipe a certain amount of times.
Oh man, you just know that you're leaving literal shit on your ass cheeks, and then walking about your day, letting that shit just spread around and mix in with your sweat.
Imagine the tire tracks.
I cannot
I hope
imagine.
I hope Sean's underwear are poop brown because
They have to be. No, yeah, I feel like I have to wipe till that shit is like completely white, you know?
it's gotta be.
Even if it's at my asshole's expense.
You may really end up just chewing the fuck out of your asshole.
Sometimes you do. It's unpleasant for a while afterward.
It is. Yeah. It's gonna heal.
But it's worth it.
It's like he really wants a town.
I'm so glad that you can agree and can relate to that experience because
And I
I
think,
know it
you
so
know,
well.
if we share these experiences, there's got to be so many other people that
So
do
many of you in our audience must have similar comments, or maybe you have something totally different we're not even considering. Please follow our Twitter and tweet at us, with hashtag Poop Podcast, so we can see your experiences. Maybe we can share them in one of our next episodes. Yeah, I mean it's so interesting. We've got to bring on some special guests and really compare. There's a lot of things we can cover about poop that I think will be really valuable to continue discussing.
I do too. I think that these are these are conversations that are well overdue.
I agree.
That was not meant to detract from anything that's going on in the world. I just thought it would be a funny thing to say.
Exactly. Go long overdue. Oh, man. Well, do we want to discuss anything else today on the Pooping Podcast, Nick, or should we end it here? And
This is a good stopping point. I don't have any questions unless you do.
I
Just trying to
think yeah, we have a lot to leave on the table for our next discussion.
You really
I'm
did.
gonna go get some more toilet paper because thinking about it, I want to make sure I'm not in a situation where I have to leave my asshole not perfectly
Wait,
clean.
okay. Last, final question.
Okay.
Just kind of like a speed round.
Speed round.
It's just one question. It's a speed round.
Okay.
Favorite toilet paper or the toilet paper that you buy?
These days, it's got to be the Charmin Ultra Strong. I don't want to give them the free advertising, but Charmin and their beautiful little brown bear that comes on TV, they're right.
Yeah, red bear.
Yeah, that beautiful red bear. Come on TV and they show you don't need much, and it wipes clean. It doesn't leave particles behind. It's strong, but it's also soft. It's soft and it's strong and it's thick and it's absorbent. There was a time in my life where I liked the soft, but it leaves behind little soft toilet paper particles, and we don't want particles in our assholes. We want that shit clean and sparkling. So I go for Charmin Ultra Strong. What about you, Nicholas?
I have been going for Cottonelle.
Cottonelle, yeah. I have experienced Nicholas Langer's Cottonelle toilet paper firsthand, and I can say it's adequate. I was not upset with it.
I mean, I think, okay, maybe from time to time, if you really go to fucking town, you'll get particles. But you must be shoving this toilet paper with force.
I mean, no, but sometimes, yeah, if you don't get it thick enough, you push some pressure on and the paper comes off, where it's really wet and that kind of exchanges some particles. I don't know. Yeah, I do also go with some force. I want to make sure I can open up the exterior sphincter a little bit and still get whatever's up there too.
Really? That's
Not
crazy.
a lot, but just a dab. Just a dab.
You really go to town, don't you?
I just open a little dab and then good.
I mean, it's not a thing. We just have different practices. I didn't mean to demean.
Oh yeah, no. We're all about
you're at.
sharing and normalizing here, Nick. So thank you
Exactly.
for clarifying that.
Because it's all about what works for you.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not doing anything crazy and sticking it up, But if that's also what you do, that's okay. You can wipe all the way up into your intestine if that makes you feel good. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, I just get a little dab and then we're good to go, and that's how we feel clean about our day. Wow. And then we've opened up great discussion that will resonate with a lot of people, Nick.
I think we have. So if you are interested in continuing with our poop learning journey, if you will, subscribe to the podcast, follow us for updates. Like we said before, do you have any stories, pooping stories, pooping experiences? I think one topic that's always fun to cover is most interesting places you've pooped. Those are really fun. Any type of those type of things, like we'll compile them, we'll put them together, we'll make an episode, maybe read some of those, hopefully get some poop experts in here.
We'll really get to validate exactly what we're talking about.
Right, and just talk more about poop.
Exactly.
We don't talk about it enough.
We're all about normalizing poop here on the Pooping Podcast, and we hope that you might get a little chuckle and a little bit of a shared experience by listening to what we have to say. So we look forward to bringing you new episodes here in the near future. Like Nick said, tweet us at #PoopPodcast and tell a few stories. Thanks for tuning in.
Remember to flush.
Remember to flush. And before we close it up, we'd like to thank our sponsor for this week's episode, Audible. Audible audiobooks. You can start a 1-month free trial subscription with promo code POOPPODCAST to get your first month's subscription free. Audible audiobooks make for great partners while you are on your next pooping journey. Whether you poop for 5 minutes or an hour and 50 minutes, the Audible app will allow you to listen for as long as you leisure, and it will make your next pooping experience
for 30 seconds, man.
amazing. So please check out Audible and use promo code POOPPODCAST.
We'd also like to thank our second sponsor, Squarespace. With Squarespace, you have access to thousands of free templates that all scale to web, mobile, and desktop. It's so simple and easy to create a professional-looking website with the click of a button. Click the link below in the description for a 30-day free trial. And if you love what you like after that, you can get a discounted.
You can't.
Squarespace, professional websites made easy.
Made easy, that's right, Nick. This episode is also brought to you by Headspace Studios, bringing you hours and hours of meditation, meditative content. Join Headspace Studios for 2 weeks free with promo code Poop and Calm. You can listen to your next few meditation sessions and get calm with yourself. Maybe you can meditate while you're on the toilet and just enjoy the experience. So please enjoy that all with a subscription to Headspace Studios. And with that,
we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Squarespace.
Yeah, they paid for 2 slots. The Capital One Venture card earns you 2 times miles.
Oh no.
Oh no. Alright everyone, I hope that this has made your pooping session for the day fun. We will see you tomorrow. Or next week. Webflow. This brings us to our final sponsor, Squatty Potty. Making your poop session more natural. Pooping at an angle with Squatty Potty.
Alright. Fantastic.
I'm gonna stop my recording now. Goodbye, viewers.
You upload that somewhere?